Thank you so much for joining the class today. It's going to be a little bit more of a fast-paced flow, just to warm up the body and kind of reset midday. So we're going to begin in child's pose at the back of the mat. You can choose to have the knees as wide as the mat here if you'd like to, bringing the big toes together. Alternatively, you can bring the knees in slightly and then bring the feet parallel to one another. So you're almost working your sitting bones down towards the floor. And then begin to walk the hands forward. Melting the heart down on top of the thighs or towards the floor, relaxing the elbows, relaxing the forehead. Bringing your attention inside. Noticing your breath. Noticing where your body's at today, where your mind's at. Just observing, and without passing any judgment, beginning to focus on bringing the breath into any parts of the body that are asking for it. This may be a space that you can relate to in your body that generally holds a lot of tension. This may be simply to bring the attention to equalizing the inhalations with the exhalations. And really allow the breath here to subtly make its way into all parts of your body. Helping you relax the muscles of the forehead. Relaxing all of the muscles surrounding the jaw, the muscles of the neck and shoulders. Noticing if maybe you've been a little bit fidgety in this pose here, and if maybe you can invite a little bit of stillness. Feeling the back of the heart expanding with your inhalation as the belly presses in between the thighs or on top of the thighs. Feeling your spine elongating from the crown of the head all the way down through the tailbone. A few cleansing breaths here in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. One more like this, inhaling through the nose and exhale through the mouth. With the next inhalation, gently press the fingertips into the floor. Begin to raise the head. Gaze towards your fingertips. Keeping the left hand planted, begin to interlace the right arm underneath the left. Coming into a bit of a twist here for the upper spine. Relax the shoulder onto the floor. Relax the neck. Relax the ear. Continue to use your left hand to press you towards the back of the mat, elongating the spine, working the sitting bones down towards the heels. Inhale deeply here. As you exhale, bring the left elbow down onto the floor. Rest of the left arm remains as it is. Begin to elevate the hips. Walk the left arm just a little bit further forward so that the hips are in line with the knees. And then begin to extend the right arm overhead, opening from the chest. Pull the shoulder blades in towards one another. A big inhalation, gaze towards your right fingertips. Bump the hips over towards the left slightly to make sure they're squared. As you exhale, bring the right forearm down onto the floor, parallel to the left. Inhale, gently arching the spine, gazing forward. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale as you gaze forward, elongate the spine. Knees are now in line with the hips. And exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, round. Inhale, one more as you gaze forward, elongating this, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, come into a neutral spine. Really plant the tops of the feet into the floor, trying to keep the hips as squared as possible. Plant the right elbow firmly into the floor, and then begin to raise the left arm overhead. Again, twisting just from the upper spine and from the middle spine, making sure that the low back is squared to the floor. Inhale, gaze towards the left fingertips. As you exhale, interlace the left arm beneath the right. Press into the back of the left hand. So these are your points of contact with the floor that are going to help you stay stable. So the entirety of the left arm, and then begin to extend the right arm out in front of you. Keep the right arm in line with the right shoulder. Plant the top of the left foot into the floor, and then tuck the right toes and begin to extend the right leg away from you. Creating a little bit of a twist here, gaze overhead. Take an inhalation here. Feel the lengthening happening in your entire right side body. And exhale through the nose. And then stabilizing into your foundation, into your base, into your points of contact with the floor, begin to raise the right leg overhead. Active right leg, active quadriceps. Begin to open the right hip here, stacking the hips on top of one another. Be careful with the neck, making sure you're not causing any unnecessary tension here. Keep using the length and the strength of the left arm to help you stabilize. Flex through the right toes. Slowly and with control, begin to move the right toes in the direction of your left hand. Plant the right foot on the outside of your left hand. The entirety of the right foot is on the floor. Bring your right hand closer to your face. As you inhale, bring the left arm overhead. Elongate the spine, gaze towards your left fingertips. Exhale, left hand down onto the floor. Inhale, right leg comes up. Flex through the toes, right heel in line with the right hip. And continuing with that same inhalation, bring the right leg back behind you, gaze up, right heel up, arch the spine. Exhale, round through the spine, right knee to nose. Inhaling, extending, hips are squared, gaze forward. Exhale, round through the spine, knee to nose. Flex the right foot, plant the right foot in between the hands. Coming up onto your left knee and right foot, interlace the hands, press the hands on top of your right thigh. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Begin to slightly round through the upper back, pushing your pelvis a little bit further forward so you feel the lengthening happening in the left quadricep and the left psoas. Legs are 90-degree ankles. Inhale here, directing the breath into the back of the heart, feeling the shoulder blades expand. And as you exhale, release the pose, bring your fingertips down onto the floor in front of you, shift the weight into your right foot, bring the left leg back behind into an L shape. Flex the left toes, bring the left foot down to meet the right. Inhale, quadriceps active, gaze forward. Exhale, micro bend into the knees, drop the head towards the floor. Inhale, coming all the way up, elongating the spine, gazing towards your fingertips. Exhale, bring your right hand into the crease between your right ribs and right hip bone, right elbow in line with your right shoulder, and then pressing with your right hand into that space, begin to extend the left arm towards the side. Quadriceps active, inner thighs glued towards one another. Inhale here. As you exhale, coming back up with the left hand. Inhale, right hand up to meet the left, gaze towards your fingertips. Exhale, hands down towards the floor, micro bend the knees, drop the head. Inhale as you gaze forward, extend the right leg back behind. Exhale, bend into the left knee, bring the right knee down onto the floor with control. Inhale, walk your weight back, straighten through the left leg, flex the left toes, gaze forward. And then as you exhale, drop the belly to the top of the left thigh. Inhale, coming up, press your fingertips into the floor, protract through the scapula, point the left toes, and then raise the left foot off of the floor. Inhale. Exhale, bend into the left knee with control without touching the floor. Extend the left leg back behind you. Plant your right hand in line with your right knee. Elevate the right toes. Bring the right toes out towards the right. Inhale, extend the left arm. So left foot is in line with the left hip and left arm is extended out overhead. Begin to bend into the knee, into the elbow, coming into this variation of a happy baby crunch. Inhale, extend, lengthening the entire left side body. Exhale, coming into that tiny crunch. Inhale, extend. And exhale, tiny baby crunch. Bring the left hand down in line with the right. Extend the left leg. Bring the right toes back in line with the right knee. So you're facing forward. Keeping the left leg elevated, begin to shift the weight forward, bending into the elbows, dropping your chest and chin onto the floor. Left leg goes up. You can stay here or you can work the right foot towards the top of the left thigh. Inhale. Exhale, bringing both of the feet towards the floor, coming into upward facing dog. And then make your way into your first downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the heels off of the floor. At the same time, shift the weight forward. Exhale, bringing the hips down to the floor. Chin remains close to the chest. Press the heart forward. Toes are tucked. If you feel a crunching sensation in your lower back, back off of the pose a little bit. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, puff up through the back of the heart. Hips lead the way, making your way all the way back down to downward facing dog. Inhale one more time, shift forward. Exhale, dropping the belly towards the floor without touching the floor. Press the heart forward, gaze forward. Bring the chin in towards the chest, puff up through the back of the heart. With control, make your way back into a downward facing dog. Shift the weight forward, bend into the knees, bring the knees down onto the floor at the same time. Big toes touching or parallel to one another. Extend the arms away from you, returning back into child's pose. Inhale here. Exhale, raise your head, gaze forward. Press the top of the right hand, press the right hand firmly into the floor, interlace the left arm beneath it, and then relax the left shoulder, left ear on the floor. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right elbow firmly onto the floor. Shift your weight slightly forward. Bring your knees in a little bit so they're underneath the hips, and then extend the left arm overhead. With control, drop the left elbow onto the floor. Forearms are parallel. Inhale as you gaze forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale as you gaze forward. And exhale as you round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, gaze forward, pressing the heart forward. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Neutral spine, press the left elbow into the floor. Inhale, right arm overhead, gaze at your right fingertips. Exhale, interlace the right hand beneath the left, extend the left arm away from you. So the hips are in line with the knees now. Press the back of the right hand firmly into the floor. Press the left hand firmly into the floor. Press the right foot, especially the top of the right foot, into the floor as you begin to extend the left leg. And then connect with your points of contact here. Connect with the back of the right arm and hand, pressing it into the floor. And as you find your stability, begin to raise the left leg. Pointing or flexing or demi-pointing through the toes, whatever you need to do in order to make sure that that leg is active. Quadriceps active, glutes active. Begin to open the left hip, stacking it on top of the right. Inhale. Exhale, flex through the left foot. With control, begin to bring the left foot towards your right hand. Placing the left foot right on the outside of your right hand. Press the left hand into the floor. Inhale, bring the right arm overhead, twisting. Exhale, bring the right hand down in line with the left. Inhale, raise the left leg. Bringing the left leg back behind. Continuing with that inhalation, begin to arch the spine, gaze forward, hips are squared. Exhale, rounding through the spine, knee to nose. Inhaling, extending, gazing forward. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, knee to nose, flex through the left foot. Place the left foot in between the hands with control. Legs are at 90-degree angles. Interlace the hands, place them on top of the left thigh, and then begin to round through the spine, pressing the pelvis slightly forward via the tailbone. So the tailbone is pulled under. The chin is in towards the chest. We're looking for sensation here in your right hip flexor and your right psoas. Direct the breath to the back of the heart as you expand the shoulder blades away from one another. Inhale here. Exhale, release the pose, bend deeper into the left knee, bring the hands out in front of you, fingertips on the floor. Bring the right knee off of the floor. Inhale, L shape with the legs, right leg floats up. Exhale, bring the right foot down to meet the left. Inhale, quadriceps active, gaze forward. Exhale, micro bend into the knees, drop the head. Inhale, coming all the way up, extending the arms overhead. Exhale, bringing the left hand into that space where the ribs and hip bone meet, and then pressing there with your hand, begin to extend the right arm towards the left side. The chest is really open, corkscrew the heart towards the top, gaze towards your right elbow as you really expand the entire right side body. Inhale, extend the right arm even further towards the left. Exhale, making your way back up. Inhale, left hand meets the right, gaze up. Exhale, coming into a forward fold. Micro bend the knees if you'd like. Inhale as you gaze forward, elongate the spine. Exhale, raise the left leg, bend into the right knee, bring the left foot towards the back, bring the left knee down onto the floor. Inhale, shift the weight back, flex through the right toes. And then as you exhale, looking at the right toes, begin to drop the belly down towards the floor in half splits. Inhale as you press yourself up, protract through the scapula, point the right toes, elevate the right foot off of the floor. And then keeping that elevated foot, begin to extend the right leg back behind, place the left hand on the floor, raise the left knee, swivel the left foot over towards the left, extend the right leg, extend the right arm. With your exhalation, bend into the right knee and into the arm, coming into this happy baby crunch. Inhale, extend, and exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend, and exhale, coming into that little crunch. Dropping the right hand onto the floor, swiveling yourself so that you're facing the front of the mat. Right leg is still extended. Shift the weight forward, bend into the elbows, drop the chest and chin onto the floor. Bring the right leg overhead, and then work towards bringing your left foot to the top of the quadriceps. Inhale. Exhale, drop everything. Inhale, up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high up on the toes, shift the weight forward. Exhale, micro bend into the elbows as you drop the pelvis to the floor. Active glutes, gaze forward. Exhale, chin to chest, protract through the scapula. Hips lead the way, bringing yourself back into down dog. Inhale, one more. Shift the weight forward. Exhale, active glutes, active quads, gaze forward. Chin to chest, protract through the scapula, hips lead the way, bringing you back to down dog. Shift forward, knees bend at the same time, drop them onto the floor. Bring the sitting bones onto the heels, coming back into child's pose. Inhale as you gaze up. Exhale, interlace the right hand beneath the left, bringing the right ear towards the floor. Inhale, drop them. Left elbow onto the floor. Exhale, shift the weight slightly forward. Inhale, bringing the right arm overhead. Exhale, bring the right elbow in line with the left. Inhale as you gaze forward, arching the spine. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, gazing forward. And exhaling, rounding through the spine. Neutral spine, right elbow presses into the floor. Inhale, bring the left arm overhead. Exhale, interlace the left arm beneath the right. Begin to extend the right arm out in front of you. Press the back of the left arm into the floor. Inhale, extends the right leg. Exhale, brings the right leg overhead. Inhale, opening the right hip, stacking it on top of the left, flexing the right toes. And then exhale with control, bringing the right foot down towards the left hand. Right foot is parallel with the mat. Place the right hand into the floor. Inhale, left arm overhead, coming into a twist. Exhale, bring the left hand down in line with the right. Bring your left sitting bone down towards the left heel. Extend the arms, bringing the forehead down to the floor. Right leg is still in the same position. We're working towards pressing the entirety, all 4 points of contact on the foot into the floor. Inhale, bringing yourself up, raising the right leg. Continuing with that inhalation as you bring the right heel back behind hips or squared arch the spine. Exhale, round through the spine, knee to nose. Inhale as you extend, gaze forward. Exhale, round through the spine, knee to nose. Drop the right foot in between the hands with control. Walk the hands forward. Inhale, standing splits, extending the left leg. The head is coming down towards the top of the right thigh. And then as you exhale, square the hips, flex through the left foot. Begin to work your way into a pistol squat, extending the left leg out in front of you. Hands remain on the floor. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, coming into that L shape, bringing the left leg back behind you, gaze forward. Flex through the left toes. Bring the left toes down to meet the right with your exhalation. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, micro bend into the knees, drop the head. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, right hand to right hip, extend the left arm towards the right. Inhale, keep extending. Exhale, coming back up. Inhale, right arm meets the left. Exhale, hands through heart center. Bring your weight to your left leg, bring the right leg back behind, coming into a warrior 3 with hands by your heart. Gaze forward, hips are squared. Bend into the left knee, bring the right foot towards the back. Inhale, arms overhead, right heel is up, coming into a crescent lunge, left knee is bent. Exhale, hands through heart center, coming into warrior 2. Extend the arms away from you, gaze towards your left fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands together through heart center, pivot the right foot, extend the left leg, coming into baby skandasana, working the torso parallel with the mat, right leg 90 degrees. Shift your glutes towards the back, and then the head towards the front of the mat, in front of you. Inhale here. Exhale, without using the hands, pivot forward, bring the right hand to the inside of your left foot, high up on your right toes as you bring the left arm overhead, coming into a twist. Shift your weight into the outside of your both feet, bring your right hip down towards the floor, extend the left arm towards the right foot. Inhale, press into the feet, raising the hips over. Exhale, shifting towards the front of the mat, left fingertips in line with the left toes, coming into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana on the left side. Left quadriceps active, bring your right hand to your right hip. Opening the chest, extending the right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, micro bend into the left knee. Bring the right foot towards the back of the mat. Begin to extend through the left leg. Toes are flexed. Keep pressing into the right hip as you extend the left arm towards the back. Inhale here, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bring the left foot onto the floor, extend the right arm, extend from the hips, and then bring yourself into triangle pose, gaze towards your right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, bring both hands to the inside of your left foot, bend into the left knee, bring the right foot down onto the floor. Inhale here in lizard pose, gaze forward. Exhale, come onto the outside of the left foot, bringing the left arm overhead, extending the left arm towards the right foot. You can opt to stay here, or if you'd like to go a bit deeper, begin to bend into the right knee and bring your left hand to the outside of your right foot. And then pull your shoulder blades in towards one another, gaze towards the back. Keep pressing yourself away from the floor with your right hand. Inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. With control, begin to drop the right foot back behind you if you have the knee bent. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Open the left toes towards the left side. Come off of the right knee. Shift the weight towards the back. And then press yourself towards the front with control, making this really big wheel with your right foot. Right foot comes down on the outside of your right hand into Malasana. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale. Gaze forward. Exhale, lowering your hands down onto the floor, pivoting onto your toes, raising the heels, gazing forward, coming into crow pose here. Bringing your big toes to touch. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, either jump or walk towards the back of the mat. So if you're going to walk, drop the feet. Bring the feet towards the back. And then make your way through Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, bend into the knees, drop the knees at the same time. Bring your sitting bones onto your heels, returning back into child's pose. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale as you gaze forward. Exhale, interlace the left arm beneath the right, bringing your left shoulder onto the floor, left ear onto the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, gaze forward, shift the weight slightly forward, bring the weight into your right elbow. Begin to extend the left arm overhead. Bring the left elbow down in line with the right. Inhale as you arch the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale as you arch the spine and gaze forward. And exhale as you round the spine, really pressing into the scapula. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Coming into a neutral spine, press the left elbow into the floor, extend the right arm overhead. Exhale, interlace the right arm beneath the left, bring entirety of the right arm onto the floor, extend the left arm out in front of you. Stay here for the inhalation. As you exhale, begin to extend the left leg. Inhale, raises the left leg off of the floor. Exhale, opening the left hip. Inhale, maybe you point or flex through the left toe in order to help you stabilize. And then as you exhale with control, creating this big circle, bring the left foot to the outside of your right hand. Left hand comes close to your face as you inhale, bring the right arm overhead. Exhale, bring the right hand onto the floor. Without moving the left foot, shift your hips towards your right heel and then begin to extend the arms, dropping the forehead down to the floor. Inhale, gaze forward, coming back up onto your knee. Bringing the left leg up in line with your hip, shifting the left leg towards the back, keeping with that same inhalation as you arch the spine and gaze forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine, knee to nose. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine, knee to nose. Bring the left foot in between your hands with control. Walk the hands forward, high up onto the right toes. Shift your weight into your left leg, coming into standing splits, bringing the knee down towards the head down towards the knee. Inhale, squares the hips off, flex through the right toes. Exhale, bringing the right foot out in front of you, floating the right leg into this pistol squat. Keeping the hands on the floor as you inhale. Exhale, shifting your way towards the back, coming into an L shape, extending the right leg out, back behind you, gaze forward. Flex through the right toes, bring the right toes down to meet the left with the exhalation. Inhale, elongate the spine, gaze forward, active quadriceps. Exhale, micro bend into the knees, drop the head towards the floor. Inhale, brings the arms overhead, elongate the spine. Exhale, left hand towards your left hip in that crease, and then begin to extend the right arm overhead towards the left side. Inhale here. Exhale, making your way all the way back up. Inhale, left arm meets the right, gaze up. Exhale, bring the hands in front of your heart and then begin to extend the left leg back behind you. All of the weight is on the right foot, coming into a warrior three with the hands by your heart. Bend into the right knee, bring the left foot towards the back of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, return with the hands towards your heart. Pivot the back foot, coming into warrior two. Gaze at your right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, begin to lengthen through the right leg, pivot the back toes, bring your hands to your heart center, come into baby skandasana. So shift the hips back. The body is on the inside of the left thigh. Keep extending the head out in front of you. Inhale. Exhale, pivot towards the front. Bring your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Extend the right arm overhead, an easy twist. Inhale. Exhale, pivot onto the outside of both of your feet and then work your left hip down towards the floor as you extend the right arm towards your left toes. Drop the left shoulder towards your left ear. Inhale, press into your feet so that you can bring the hips overhead. Exhale, pivot towards the front of the mat. Drop the right hand onto the floor as you begin to extend the left leg, coming into half moon. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Inhale, both of the quads are active, both of the thighs are active. Exhale, begin to bend into the right knee. Bring yourself to the back of the mat with your left leg. Both of the legs are straight. Left hand remains on your hip. Elevate the right toes and then begin to extend the right arm overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the right toes onto the floor, extend the right arm, shift the hips forward without moving the legs, coming into triangle pose. Trikonasana, gaze towards your left fingertips. Inhale, both of the legs are planted firmly into the floor. Keep pulling the inner thighs in towards one another. Exhale, bring the left hand and the right on the inside of your right foot. Pivot onto your left toes. Bring the left knee down onto the floor. Inhale, option to stay here. Exhale, come onto the outside of the right foot as you begin to bring the right arm overhead and then twisting to try to almost grab your left foot from here. You're really pressing yourself away from the floor with your left hand. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades in towards one another. Exhale, option to stay here or begin to bend into the left knee. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left foot. Gazing towards the back of the mat, inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Release any tension in the hips. Inhale and exhale. With control, begin to bring the left foot back onto the floor. If you have the knee bent, bring the right toes onto the floor. Open the right toes towards the right. Come onto the left toes, shift the weight towards the back, spring your way forward, creating this big circle with your left leg. Bring your left foot to the outside of the right. Bend into both knees, not going into full malasana, but into this active squat, except walk your hands forward. So you want the belly to be parallel with the mat. Bring the sitting bones down more towards the floor, almost like you're trying to sit down on a little stool. Inhale, keep extending the arms out in front of you. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Exhale. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, begin to lengthen through the legs. Walk the feet towards the center. Feet parallel with one another. Begin to bend into the knees. Bring the belly to the top of the thighs. Bring the sitting bones down onto the floor with control. Interlace your arms around your legs and then bring your toes to touch the floor. Trying to find a bit of balance here. Maybe you bring the feet off of the floor, bring the forehead in. Maybe you even try to close your eyes. Creating this tiny little egg shape here. Harnessing all of this energy that we've created throughout class. Inhale deeply. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your mind feels. And exhale everything through the mouth. As you gaze forward, begin to extend the legs slowly, slowly, slowly. Working the entirety of the back onto the floor. Releasing the head, releasing the arms, taking up as much space as you need to. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling. In practices like these, where we didn't spend a lot of time cooling the body down after quite a fiery practice, the best way to cool yourself down and bring balance back into your body, your mind, your breath is to stay in Shavasana for as long as you possibly can. We often are up and out of Shavasana as quickly as we can because we feel like we have to get moving and we just got our physical practice in. But all of that work is for this. This is what we're working for, is for this moment or long moments, as long as we can extend them, of deep relaxation, of reconnection with the breath, of harnessing this sense of gratitude for what we are able to do with our bodies, with our breath. So I do again invite you, as long as you possibly can, to stay here in Shavasana, noticing your body, how it touches the floor, noticing all of those points of contact, how the clothing is touching your skin. Scanning your body, noticing if there's parts of the body that just immediately begin to tense up. Knowing that you have your breath, and that's really our greatest gift in learning how to control everything around us in terms of our reactions to it. Thank you very much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time.